Hello everyone, welcome to the live stream today. StreamYard told me before I went live to say hello to not everyone watching live, but also those rewatching it. So hello, even if you're not watching it live and you're rewatching it later. I know a lot of people like to, or not like to, but if they can't make it live, they watch the replay. So hello to everyone. But today, well, it'll probably be a little bit shorter than normal, maybe like 45 minutes or so. Just a really busy day, so not going to stay on super long, but I do have a postcard of the, and actually I'm going to talk about a few sales I had today that were, or within the last 24 hours since I shipped out yesterday, that were pretty interesting. So I'll talk about those after I show the postcard of the week. My postcard of the week, this is from Jacksonville, Florida. This is an old, now defunct amusement park called Dixieland Park, and you can see this right here is a really cool view of a mystery house, or mysterious house as it's called, and it's just a really cool building. How they have the huge evil looking clown figure up there, up top, and this is in my personal collection. It's a pretty uncommon postcard. I couldn't find any other views of this particular attraction that had ever been sold before, and RPPCs from the park in general are pretty hard to find. So I was excited to find this one in a lot that I bought, and decided to keep it in my personal collection. But yeah, just a really cool view. I love amusement park stuff. I'm not a huge fan of going on amusement park rides or even traveling to amusement parks, but when I was a kid, I played a lot of Roller Coaster Tycoon, and I used to have the Roller Coaster Tycoon little, um, what is it called? It's like a 3D art thing behind me, but I moved it. Since still love Roller Coaster Tycoon, just made some space for other stuff. But yeah, I've always been a big fan of amusement parks, roller coasters, and stuff like that. And I did have a little collection going for a while of roller coasters, and I sold quite a few of those off. I wish I would have kept some of them. But yeah, I've always been attracted to amusement park stuff and coasters and attractions like this. So that's what drew me to this card. And I'm definitely not the only one because amusement parks are really popular on postcards, especially the defunct ones, which, if it's the early 1900s like this is, there's not very many amusement parks that are still in operation that were operating back then. But this one, yeah, I wish maybe there are RPPCs out there of the inside of this building. The outside is neat enough, but I really wish we could see what it looked like on the inside. I'm guessing maybe there are some funny mirrors. I don't know. I don't think I've ever been in a little mystery house like this, so I don't really know what they put in them. But anyway, this is my postcard of the week from my personal collection, and probably after I get back from Wichita is only in, well, it's about 2 weeks. So, well, actually, 2 weeks from Friday is when I will be there. But I imagine I'll be showing a lot of the cards that I got in Wichita when I get back from that. But have plenty of postcards in my personal collection to show, and thought this one would be a good one for today. Now, I did say I wanted to talk about a few sales I had yesterday or today. I'm not sure which. Just cards that I shipped out today that I thought were interesting sales that I wanted to mention. Let me see here. Sales. Actually, let me just go to orders. Oh, this was a nice one. I'll show that one. I guess this will be a mini what sold video just for the last the last day, showing some good stuff that sold. Another amusement park one. I'll show that one too. That one's a pretty cool one. That's boring, boring. Oh, this one's interesting. Oh yeah, I had a ton. I'll only show one of these, but I've had a ton of Valentine's cards sell. Well, not a ton relatively. So I don't sell Valentine's postcards that often, and I don't have a lot listed. But over the last 3 or 4 days, I've sold about 7 different Valentine's cards to 3 different buyers, and I don't know what's going on with Valentine's Day. So if somebody knows something, let me know. That one looks. No, that one's not that great. Okay. Oh, that one's pretty cool. I'll show that one. Okay, and that is it. Okay, so now let me just go to these and we can do a mini what sold video today. These will probably all also be, well, not all of them. Some of them will be in my what sold video next Monday, so sorry for the spoilers. Okay, let me see if I can present my screen here. Oh, catch up with the chat. Yeah, I forgot. We had live chat. Mr. Interpol fan said, hello, Daniel and all. Greetings from Los Angeles. Hope everyone is well. Doing great here. Not sure. Can't speak for everyone else, but personally, I'm doing really good. Spud Muffin said, hey, hey, welcome in, Spud Muffin. I read that as Stud Muffin, but Spud, yeah, I guess it's potatoes. Oh, Stud Muffin is like a more common phrase, I guess. So that's a play on words. Okay, ignore me. Fart Sack Jack said, yo, welcome in, Fart Sack Jack. Nice having you as a regular in the chat again. Old Man in the Stream. Oh, the card, yeah, that was a really nice one. Pam Card said, hello, everyone. Welcome in, Pam. And Nancy Ann says, hello, hello. Welcome in. And I will share my screen. Let's see. I'll share my window. That's what I want to share, right? Yeah. Okay. Okay. So this is the mini what sold video. Just over the last, what, 24 hours, roughly. This is a cool one. This is... I put this was a real photo, but you can see on the back it doesn't have real photo back. But it's the same size as an RPPC, and maybe more importantly, it's the thicker kind of cardstock that a real photo postcard is made out of. If it was the thinner kind, I would have just called this a photo and probably not even listed it, just because I don't really sell photos. But I thought this was cool. It's a fox, silver black fox ranch in Wausau, Wisconsin. And the fox won a lot of prizes in 1922, and this is the prize-winning fox with all of his prizes. I sent a 15% off offer, so this one sold for like $31 and some change. This is one of my Valentine's cards that sold. I just saw Nancy's comment. I wish someone would find my Valentine cards, and then my holiday cards have sold even at 25% off. Any advice? Well, what I do is, I mean, this isn't really great advice, but I only list for Valentine's and the lesser known holidays, or not lesser known, just the holidays that don't do as well, like Easter, St. Patrick's Day, Valentine's Day, New Year's. I really only will list a card if it's from a notable artist that is pretty well collected. So like all the Valentine's cards I've sold over the last few days have been clap saddles. And what I do for the other holidays, well, for the good holidays, Christmas, I really only list nice Santas, and then Halloween, I will list any Halloween. And then for like the obscure holidays that there aren't a lot of postcards for, I think maybe Labor Day is one. I'll list any of those too. And July 4th, I list all July 4th cards because those sell super quick. But yeah, I would say what I do with, I'm just more selective, I guess. And with the holidays that I know have a lower sell-through rate, I just only sell like the really notable artists that I think will sell quickly or good, or for good money. But yeah, this one sold for full price, and the buyer bought several other artist signed clap saddles, Valentine's. I list pretty much any clap saddles I come across. She did a lot of not only Valentine's, but St. Patrick's, Christmas, New Year's. She did it all. Halloween. Very prolific, but I'm sure everybody here knows about clap saddle pretty much. Ashley said, here, hi all. Fart Sack Jack, throw in some shade. Well, now that you have a schedule. Yeah, I just got off schedule, but now I'm back on schedule. Pray that I don't change my schedule again. No, it's just a crazy summer. But I don't even know why. Things aren't really that less crazy now. It's just that I've committed to doing the live stream every Tuesday and not working. I think what helps is I just do a little bit more work on Monday now and get ahead so I don't have as much to do on Tuesday. I think that's the key. Is just doing more. I work a longer day on Monday so that I basically have a little extra time to do a live stream is how it's gone. Lise said, "Hey there," from San Antonio. Welcome in, Lise. Alan L said, "Hi." Welcome in, Alan. Oh, I do have a question for the chat too. We're trying to plan a family vacation next year. We're looking to go to a beach, probably somewhere in the southeast, just because we don't want to travel. I prefer driving to the beach, just because, I like to pack a lot of stuff for the beach, books and gadgets and clothes and stuff and towels that I wouldn't really want to stuff in a suitcase to go on a plane. So probably somewhere in the southeast. So if anybody has any beach recommendations, let me know. We did go to a beach that wasn't too great in North Carolina. Well, the beach itself was fine, but they had these biting fleas that were absolutely miserable that were out pretty much every single day on the beach, and I think I killed over 100 of the biting fleas, and they were just so bad. So yeah, qualifications are probably somewhere in the southeast, and definitely does not have biting fleas anywhere on the beach. Yeah, I'll show the rest of these cards in a minute. I'll get caught up with the two questions. What are some strategies to maximize sales of unidentified RPVCs? Also, which 3 states would you say are best sellers if you were selling state lots? Good question. Sand fleas, yeah, that's what they were. Yeah, they're absolutely miserable. And I'd never been to a beach that had them before, and I will never go back to another beach that has them. It was terrible because I love hanging out. Like, I don't get. So I know some people go to the beach and they don't mind, like, hanging out inside and shopping and whatever, but if I'm going to the beach, I want to be on the beach all day, and it just made the trip miserable. Just I can still, and it hurt too. Like, it wasn't bad, but it was like, ow, like, painful. Um, let's see, what are some strategies? Yeah, you just kind of have to learn what types of stuff collectors look for, and I'm learning more all the time, but I still don't know a lot of stuff. Like, there's things collectors look for as far as like the clothing people are wearing, which I don't really know anything about. Some things that I have learned are like different types of interior views people like. Houses, people like a lot of different style houses. So if you have an unidentified house, but you can uh, figure that that was a Sears house or describe other parts of the architecture of the house, that can really help. If it's an interior view, just describing stuff in there can really help, like, oh, cool rug or lamp or, whatever. I had one unidentified real photo that I sold a week or two ago. I think I sold it for $45, and it was a soda fountain, and a woman was pouring a drink, and that's one you would probably know to list anyways. But that one wasn't identified, and to describe that, just use basically what's going on in the scene. Yeah, like Lee said, bicycles, toys, dogs, cats, motorcycles for sure too, but you probably already knew that. And then also dog breed and types of cats. So if people like to just buy stuff that reminds them of the dog they have or the cat they have. So if you can figure out the dog breed or say that it's a calico or a black and white cat or whatever, that'll help out too. So I would say just try to be as descriptive as possible and look for things in the scene that collectors or that's just going to make a connection to somebody. So just look for things in the picture that other people like old clothing, rugs, lamps. People are into all that kinds of stuff. So just look around and look for things that people like and put that in your title. Which 3 states would you say are best sellers if you were selling state lots? I'll answer your question. I don't really sell lots anymore. It's been a while since I did any whatnot. And yeah, so I'll just answer your question for the best selling states. Mississippi is still decent, but it's fallen off a little bit. I would say Virginia is really good if you can do, I mean, not the bigger cities, obviously, like Williamsburg and Richmond, but the smaller towns, Virginia. Uh, what did I say so far? Virginia, North Carolina does really well. Um, Tennessee might do a bit better than Georgia. Georgia does really well too, though. But I'm biased because I get a lot of Southeastern cards. So the states that I like, other sellers don't like, and the states that I don't like, a lot of other sellers really like. So you'll have to ask around. But as far as states that I don't live near, Delaware and New Jersey do pretty well for me. Let me see. I'm trying to think of a Midwest. Illinois does pretty good. It's probably one of my best Midwestern states, if not the best Midwestern state. And out west, I have good luck with early Arizona, Nevada, because early Nevada cards are hard to find. I don't have great luck with California, but decent luck with Washington and Oregon, and of course Texas. Early Texas cards do fairly well too. Hopefully that answers your question. I'm gonna try and make it through the rest of these cards here real quick. This is one that surprised me when I was going to list it, but I pulled it to list because Edward Mitchell cards are usually divided back, but you do see some undivided back. But I don't think I've ever seen an Edward Mitchell card this early, copyright 1899. And the Cliff House in San Francisco, I think, burned down quite a few different times. So I don't know if this is after it burned the first time or before it ever burned or whatever. If anybody knows, let me know. But yeah, this one I sold for full price, 1995. And let me see if I can find this SKU. 53. So it hadn't been up for a while either. So yeah, keep an eye out for early Edward Mitchell cards. Most of his cards are very common, and even his early cards are really, really common. Like, if you find divided back Edward Mitchell cards, chances are it's going to be $4 to $5, even if it's, a really nice older card. But this one surprised me. This one is just another nice amusement park card. I sent an offer for $650, which somebody accepted on that. And last one here, this is another card I got at the Georgia Postcard Show. Kind of a boring view, but it is a railroad related card. They said the Chicago, Rock Island, and Pacific Railway Eating House. Might have, I don't know if Fred Harvey was in the area, but I know Fred Harvey had a lot of like railroad eating houses. So it could have possibly been Fred Harvey. Maybe I should have researched that, but either way. Sold this one, took an offer for $50, and am grateful for the very nice offer from a long-time buyer. That's all I have for the What Sold video for just the last 24 hours. I've sold more cards last day, but those are the only cool ones. Okay, let me catch up with the chat and get back to our regularly scheduled programming. Okay. Alan said, great tip I saw on YouTube. Google business profile and set up a free page. Oh, cool. I have a website, so that helps, and I linked that, plus social media. I believe it will help in search results, TBD. That is a really good tip. I will make myself a reminder to do that now. I didn't know that you could do that if you didn't have a physical business, but or like a brick and mortar store. I will do Google business profile. Yeah, I do have a website too, so that'll help, I guess. Okay. Good tip, though. I mean, it can't hurt, right? Like, even if it doesn't increase your sales or anything. Not going to hurt you. Byron said, I find WorthPoint to be more than I can pay for right now. How often do you use it versus eBay's product research? I use WorthPoint less and less. I usually use it a couple times a day, and I am researching 100 or listing 100 postcards a day. Since Terapeak or product research goes back 3 years, you don't necessarily need to have WorthPoint. It can be really helpful for some old cards that haven't sold in a while, but if you know how to search, you can kind of get around that. And what I mean by that, for example, if you're selling a card, let's say it's a railroad depot in a small Georgia town, and the last one sold 10 years ago, so you can only find that card on WorthPoint. What you could do and kind of just hack through it with product research is just look at other cards from the town and see how they've sold and base your price off of that, and just know that a railroad depot is probably going to be a little bit higher than the other cards that have sold for that particular town. So I would say it's not necessary, and I'll probably reevaluate here soon whether I want to keep paying for Worth Point. I feel like it's kind of like training wheels or crutches. Like I don't really use it a ton, and I'm not relying on it, but I don't know if I would trip and fall or be able to ride without the training wheels. No, I think I would do fine without it. I don't know. I go back and forth. Um, but yeah, I would say you and the cards now that you can find on product research, I think it used to only go back 2 years, and maybe in the past before that it only went back 1 year. So now that it goes back 3 years, that's pretty good. And honestly, any sales from over 3 years ago start to get less accurate. And a card could have sold for, $100 in 2020, and it might only sell for $40 today. So sales before the last 3 years aren't always super accurate anyways. And um, yeah, I don't know. I can't remember the last time I like relied on Worth Point and really priced my card based off of Worth Point. I do look on Worth Point a few times a day usually, but typically when I go to Worth Point, I already have a price in my mind based off of looking at what's currently out there and what's sold on product research. And I'm just checking Worth Point to be like, oh, yep, that makes sense. But I can't remember the last time that I just relied on Worth Points for a price. So yeah, I would say it's not necessary, and I'll probably reevaluate here soon. Especially if eBay upped product research to 4 or 5 years, I would just drop it today. But every now and then there's a card where it's sold in like 2020 or 2021, and I'm like, yeah, I'm glad I had Worth Point so I could see this. That was probably a long-winded answer for what should have been a shorter answer. Jim said, I love Orange Beach, Alabama. Oh, is that on the Gulf? Well, yeah, it has to be on the Gulf. Duh. Uh, there's no beaches in Alabama that aren't on the Gulf unless it's like a beach on a lake or whatever. Orange Beach, Alabama, I will add that one to my mental checklist. Tractors are big too if you can figure out a model. Yeah, tractors, harvesters, steam engines, equipment, stuff like that can sell for pretty good money. Alan said, I use WorthPoint all the time. Easier and bigger photos than eBay research. Just a cost of doing business. Plus, you may find a high dollar card that is not on eBay. Yeah, that's definitely one thing I like about WorthPoint is it's very easy to see what card you are to see what card has come up in search results based on the thumbnail. With product research, the thumbnails are so small, you just have to click to enlarge it to see anything. Um, so yeah, I like it a little bit better because of that. I will say one pro tip for WorthPoint, at least a pro tip for me, make sure that when you're searching, you check the box. You go to search preferences and check search by title only. Um, because there's a lot of things that come up when I don't search by title only. And you can also check it to only show items with images, which I also have on. But I definitely do search by title only because when I didn't, I was getting a ton of like loosely related or completely irrelevant results. And I can't use WorthPoint without that option on now. Shrieker20 said Rhode Island, Mississippi, Alabama, Hawaii. Yeah, early Hawaiian cards can do really good. Mississippi, Alabama, no disagreements there. Rhode Island does pretty decent too. Illinois sucks. No, especially what you want to look for in Illinois. What is it? El Paso. Price those El Paso cards well over $100. All of them are gold. I forget if that's where the town you collect Farsack Jack, but I thought it was El Paso. Kim, new seller here. I saw on your recent video that you were able to sell a postcard that had the black paper from an old album still stuck to the back. That's good to know. Yeah, the black paper stuck to the back, so collectors mostly care about the front of the card, And if the entire back is that black paper, it can detract a little bit from the value. If it just has some spots of the black paper, it doesn't take away too much from the value. But yeah, collectors mostly care about the front, and they're definitely not as picky as, sports cards collectors or other types of trading card collectors. Pokemon, I don't know what else is out there these days, but yeah, as long as the image on the front is in good condition, you should be fine. Nancy said, "What was your question about the cliff?" Oh, no question. Oh, wait, I did have a question. Oh, burning. Striker just answered it. Wow, that was a roller coaster. Cliff House burned in Christmas 1894 and September '07. So yeah, it was after it had burned the first time, but before it burned the second time. That was my question, because I knew the Cliff House burned down a few different times, and I was just wondering if my postcard was from before it had burned at all, or after one of the burnings, or whatever. So, Shrieker answered my question. Thank you, Shrieker. Bookworld 4224. I just started listing postcards too. I did 1,000 this morning. I assume you must be using either you are a robot or you are using a robot to help you list. No, that's cool. 1,000 in a day. Pretty crazy. Ashley said, I use WorthPoint every day across my postcard reselling and antique collectibles selling locally and online. It's not just for pricing, also for ID and descriptions and info. Actually, yeah, that's a very good point by Ashley. I think I've gotten more use out of WorthPoint. Like if I think about all the times I've used WorthPoint this year, I think I got more use out of it by identifying unidentified photo postcards than I did for pricing. So yeah, it's something worth considering, but I will say too, the title and photos are not behind a paywall, so you can search on WorthPoint as far as I know, unless they've changed it since the last time I used it logged out. But you can search on WorthPoint for free and see titles or the name of an item and the photo. You just can't see the price without a paid subscription. Bookworld said, Ashley, I use List Easier. I assume you mean List Easier. Or maybe there's one called List E. List Easier to list them and just comp it using eBay solds. Common ones I list for $7.99 free shipping. Yeah, a lot of sellers are using different AI tools now. WorthPoint is invaluable for trade cards. Yeah, it has a lot of stuff other than just. And trade cards maybe even sell less frequently. At least some of the trade cards out there sell less frequently than postcards. So, that might be worth considering too. If you sell in other categories that have an even thinner sell through than postcards, could be good to see those older sales. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't. I think WorthPoint. I do. I mean, I'm still subscribed to it. I'm still paying for it, so I obviously get value out of it. I just don't think it's a good product, and I just don't think it's. I don't know. Like it's just put together so poorly, and there's just so many things about it that I don't like, and that just feel kind of like a cash grab. And it just seems like, I mean, the price has gone up so much since they started WorthPoint. It just seems like they're trying to make as much money as possible, and it doesn't really seem like they care about their users at all. So that's how I feel in my heart about WorthPoint. But for example, I've sent several emails to WorthPoint about things that were broken with their website or their app and received no response. No response. It's like they never got it. Um, so yeah, that was really annoying. In their app, they have a feature now where you can reverse image search, which sounds like it might be useful, but the reverse image search is so bad. I don't know how it works, but it never finds, and it's not because these cards don't, it's not because these images aren't on WorthPoint, it's because the image search is just so bad. You're better off just searching by text. And also the image search, um, yeah, it's so eBay and Google. If you upload an image to eBay and Google and say you want to image search, it will just automatically search. I think Google um, automatically tries to identify the portion of the image that you are trying to search. Like if you take a picture of something on a desk and you upload that to or reverse image search that on Google, it's going to zoom in on the thing you uploaded or the thing on the desk and assume that that's what you want to search for. And you can change it and you can search for like the whole image if you want to. I think eBay does the same thing. What WorthPoint does, if you try to search by image, is it makes you manually drag. So actually, let me just show you because this is so bad. I was like, who design? I'm not, obviously not an app developer, web designer, anything like that. And when I use this, I was like, this is terrible design. Like, was this just designed by AI and a human never took a look at this and thought what it would be like for someone to actually use? So here's what it looks like. Sorry, you can't really see the white part there. Okay. Here's what it looks like when you go to image search on WorthPoint. God, that is terrible. I cannot center this. Actually, I think I'm going to see if this works. Mac has a feature now where you can iPhone share on your Mac, because this feature to image search is not on desktop WorthPoint. It's just on iPhone. So I'm going to see if I can image share. Okay. If I can image share my iPhone, that's going to be pretty crazy. Game changing even. No, I don't want that. Get started. Okay. I think this might actually work, which would be crazy. Okay, it says lock your iPhone to connect. Okay, my iPhone is locked. Connecting to iPhone Air. Oh wow, this is crazy. Okay. Okay, I'm seeing my phone on my screen. I should be able to share it here and just, oh wow, this is crazy. I am using my phone on my screen. This is crazy to me. Okay, let me see if I can share this. I think I can. Present. Screen. Window. Wow, I had no idea this would work. Okay. Wow, this is incredible. How much better is this than me just holding up my phone to the webcam? Anyway, this is what I wanted to show you. Because I thought when I used this, I was like, who designed this feature? I was so excited when I saw that WorthPoint had image search. And actually, let me unshare this for just a second. Not that I have any images. I'm just making sure I don't have any personal information. I don't want a repeat of the last week where I had to take this down. So I want to show you my entire camera roll without making sure it's not going to show anything I just didn't want coming up. Let's see. Okay, I'll use that one. That picture right there. Confirm. Okay. Yeah, this is terrible. Let me find a good postcard here. Okay, I know this postcard has sold a bunch, and I know a lot of them are on WorthPoint. Okay. Okay, so here we go. Add to stage. Okay, so this is what happens. What I did, I just went to search by image, and I did, yeah, I just picked an image in my camera roll, a postcard that I wanted to search for. It appears that WorthPoint is trying now to find something in the image that you're trying to search for. It's just, I hate having to resize this every time I want to search by image. On eBay, I can just upload a postcard image. It searches for that postcard. We're good to go. But yeah, every single time I want to search for a postcard by image on WorthPoint, I have to resize this stupid thing, and you can see it barely works. So yeah, you have to crop it every single time you upload an image. It's just the most annoying thing ever. And then we're going to search, and the search results are terrible. I know for a fact this postcard is sold many times for over $5. So let's see what results we get. Yeah, see, I don't know how it works, but it's not good. It's not visually searching. I think what it's doing is kind of, so what it's doing here is translating the image you upload to WorthPoint to text basically, and then searching that text. So this is not a true image search. What I'm pretty certain is happening is it identifies that this is a linen postcard of a football stadium. So then it's searching for other linen postcards of football stadiums, which you can see here: William and Mary, Yale, Notre Dame. Who knows where that is? None of these are Sanford Stadium in Athens. Tuscaloosa, Alabama. That's triggering. Right there as a Georgia fan. I'm not a huge Georgia fan. I wasn't too torn up about it. West Virginia, Ohio State. So yeah, I know for a fact. And actually, why don't I show you by just searching WorthPoint? But this is terrible. These results are useless. Absolutely useless. So I'll just search Bulldog Athens Stadium. And I'll show you all the ones that it should have brought up. Are you kidding me? Okay, it's clearly having some issues. I love that I can use WorthPoint on my phone on my computer now. What a time to be alive. I hate WorthPoint so much. Here it is, the exact same card. This is what should have come up when I was image searching. This is the exact same image. This is not an image search. That is false advertising. And if I was rich with nothing else to do with my money, I would sue WorthPoint. And even though I would probably lose, I think it would be worth it because I just hate the way that they are. And I hate that I have to use them. But look, you can see that's the exact same postcard I uploaded to image search. $20, $12.99, $9.99. There it is again. It's sold so many times. That's why I picked that card to search. Just to show you how useless WorthPoint image search is. And it could have been an actually decent feature if they don't spend any time developing their features at all. Okay, you get the idea. Plenty of them. Not a fan of WorthPoint. I don't have any competing products, unfortunately. I wish I did, because I would love to use something else instead of WorthPoint. Anyway, I'm assuming not everybody else wants to hear about WorthPoint for the next half hour. I just don't like them. Spud Muffin said, I still can't justify paying for WorthPoint at its cost, but I've definitely used it from time to time for titles and pictures or to see how many from a town have sold overall. It's easy to find at least one card a month that you would have underpriced to make back that $29. Or you could just overprice all your cards. No. WorthPoint is definitely expensive and the UX is horrible. Yeah, I don't know. That's basically my main thing with it. Like I said, I'm still paying for it, so obviously I'm getting some value out of it, but it's just, I like a good value, and WorthPoint is not a good value. For what I'm getting, I like eBay product research way more, and that's just, like, I'm not even basically really paying that much for eBay product research. That's included with my store. The main thing I'm paying eBay for is to list everything that I'm listing, and that's basically free. So I would love it if eBay would buy WorthPoint and just integrate it with their system. That would be the best case scenario for me, I think. Google search is great for international cards, translates and pulls listings. Wow, I didn't realize WorthPoint would be a hot topic. Yeah, it's I don't know, it's not the most controversial thing in the world, but a lot of sellers are kind of on the fence about whether to pay for it or not, and I do pay for it, so obviously take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt, but you know, if you use a product, you want it to get better, and WorthPoint has a lot of room for improvement. I'm sure if I was the CEO of WorthPoint, I would be doing a much better job, because it seems like all they care about is making as much money as possible and not making a good product for their users. Just juicing them for as much cash that they have. WorthPoint Stormwatch 2025. Well, I didn't realize WorthPoint would be... Oh, wait, Oh, no, you accidentally sent that twice. I truly appreciate all the input. Okay. Ashley said, cool. I totally forgot what I was talking about before then. Sorry. Hey, I sold a postcard to Computerzeum. Computerzeum! That's copyright infringement. Trademark infringement. Computerzeum? Come on. Computerzeum, show yourself. No way. Do they have are they selling items on eBay? I'm gonna see if I can find Computerzeum. No, they might have come up with that before I had Mailzeum, for all I know. Maybe I ripped them off. I can image share on Samsung. It's extremely handy. Oh yeah, yeah. This iPhone one, or I they recently came up with an update for Mac and iPhone, so I think that's where they added the screen sharing, or not screen sharing. I can control my iPhone with my computer, which is very weird. Like I was scrolling on my phone on my computer, just kind of weird. Uh, WorthPoint emailed me a survey to fill out. They're coming out with monthly articles on different topics, which has been interesting and educating. Yeah, that would be interesting. Can't say anything bad about that. Why don't you say to their email, ask them why they never responded to my multiple requests for help when I wasn't able to use their shitty website. Ask them that if you have a line of communication open with them, because clearly, oh, actually, I have a funny mini story. Somebody from WorthPoint emailed me a couple months ago, and I'm assuming they wanted me to like promote WorthPoint on my channel. But they just emailed me and they're like, "Hey Daniel, I love what you're doing on YouTube. I love all your videos. What do you think about WorthPoint or something like that?" And then I was like, "Oh yeah, I use WorthPoint." And they never responded. That's the only email they sent me. They never responded to any of my cries for help when I couldn't use their website. But I think they wanted me to like promote WorthPoint on my YouTube channel because I know Mark was doing that for a little while, SM Postcards. And I assume that they never responded after my reply because they saw the video I made trashing them a while ago. But, you know, props to them. They didn't ask me to take it down or anything. So they at least know that what I said wasn't, it was all true, which is the ultimate defense for, what is it? Um, I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. But uh, Alan said I got the survey too. Haven't done it yet. They must have taken me off their mailing list. Barbara said, I image search on ChatGPT and ask for comparable value across all selling platforms, and that's free. Yeah, it is free for now. They're definitely going to have to charge money for that soon. ChatGPT is currently in the, and all chatbots really are in the phase where they're trying to accumulate as much users or as many users as possible. And it's like, I don't know, if you think back to how DoorDash was or Instacart was, like those tech services used to be super cheap, and it was like, wow, this is really cool. I can pay $10 for somebody to DoorDash me a McDonald's sandwich that I would pay like $9 for in the store. Why would I not do that? And then the products just get worse and worse over time, and then they just charge you more and more money. ChatGPT and the other chatbots are currently in the before phase of trying to get you hooked in, but they will very soon transition to the after phase where it's just going to be a ridiculous cost to use the service because it just uses so much electricity for all of those searches that they just can't keep it free forever. That's just not possible. But yeah, it's definitely a good tool to do some research on. But be very careful because I don't really use ChatGPT, but I use Google reverse image search, which I think uses Gemini or Google's AI. I think they call it Gemini. But whenever it suggests something and says, this is this, it has been right before, but it is wrong more often than it is right. And you always have to double check. And I've seen so many people that have items listed on eBay that clearly just did that, either asked a chatbot or whatever what this was and just went with it. And the chatbot just made something up because the thing about the chatbots, they always want to reaffirm you. And just try it out yourself. Just say something stupid like, I don't know. You can convince chatbots of pretty much anything if you're confident and you just say it like you mean it. Like, you can tell a chatbot, hey, I really love that Barack Obama was reelected for a fourth consecutive term this year. Do you think any other presidents will be elected for 4 consecutive terms? And ChatGPT will be like, oh yeah, it's great that Obama's in his fourth term now. I'm not sure if any other presidents will be elected for 4 terms. Like they basically will just agree with and go along with whatever you say. The other big flaw that they have is that they always try to answer your question even if they don't have an answer. And one of the things that's really bad with that is like unidentified images. So even if it doesn't know and it's like, oh, this image is kind of similar, it'll be like, this is the railroad depot in Sydney, New York. And you'll see the image that it's thinking that because of, and they look nothing alike. That happens a lot to me. So yeah, just be careful. You can use it, but be very wary. It said something the other day that was really stupid. Or when I was like image searching something, it said something really stupid. I wish I could remember. I got dibs on Postcardsium. Yeah, Postcardsium you can have. Does anyone use a valuer? It's like WorthPoint but free. Let me Google it. A valuer. Uh-oh. A valuer has moved to avaluer.net. Yeah, the thing with Worth... Oh, wow, this is like a... They're even using like the same... This is weird. They're even using like the same color scheme as WorthPoint. Let's see. Georgia RPPC. Okay, not that. Athens, Georgia. Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, this looks like it may actually be worse than WorthPoint. But I think this might be scraping the data from WorthPoint. This is weird. I'm just going to share my screen so y'all can see what I'm doing. I'm on this website that was mentioned in the chat. It's called avaluer.net. They've moved. I think they're definitely ripping off WorthPoint. The search is not very good because you can see I search for RPPC and it's showing me all kinds of stuff. But I mean, it does have a lot of stuff here. And I searched Athens, Georgia. Oh, it only has one result. That's why. Okay. So it's showing me other results here. Okay. When is this one? June 2019. Okay. Well, they have the number of bidders and the number of bids. That's pretty useful. And that is cool. So yeah, I think what happened here was they started scraping. Let me just search. Oh, geez. They probably started scraping eBay data, I don't know, 2019? Okay, here's all the Georgia RPPCs. Let's see what the oldest one we have is. 2019. Okay, so it was fixed price because it said that there were no bids. So this one sold for $14.99 fixed price, it says. No, this is interesting. I don't think their search is very good. And I don't like how they have their titles formatted, but yeah, maybe try out avaluer.net. Yeah, I don't know what all these things mean down here. Yeah, it says 2019 to 2024, so yeah, I'm assuming that's when their data is from. But every card I've looked at so far has been 2019, so maybe they were just pulling data for 1 year. 2019. Did they have a card that was not sold in 2019? Okay, yeah, you can't even really sort results. That's annoying. Did they only look at 2019? 2019. Surely everything they have is not just from 2019. Or maybe it is. Oh, 2020. There we go. Okay. So at least 2019 and 2020. Okay, next page. Yeah, the website design is very poor, but I do appreciate that they are not charging to use their website. Okay, let's see when this one was. 2020. Okay, so they definitely have sales from 2019 and 2020, but okay, that one has a border, so maybe this one is more recent. 2021. Okay. Okay, maybe it's organized by year because it seems to be the further on we're going. Oh wait, our site still in beta. Please return after a few months. We expect big data update. Okay. Well, maybe it will improve if they're getting updated. Okay, 2021. Yeah, maybe they haven't updated or uploaded data from the last few years yet. But anyway, yeah, thanks for sharing. Worth checking out. It doesn't appear to be super easy to use, but maybe the website will get better over time. And shitification, yeah, that's exactly it. WorthPoint, it did used to be a lot better too. They just add useless features that nobody was asking for, and the features that they do try to add that would be useful, they just screw up and they suck. But yeah, that not a new thing with WorthPoint or in general. I always verify with Google in their search. Nice, yeah. Yeah, if you're verifying, you're doing it the right way, but you just got to be careful. I know some people think people have different, ideas about AI, but some are more cautious than others. Unfortunately, some people get told something by AI and they think it must be true, and other people do their research. So yeah, definitely go into the second camp of doing your research. If you do more than 5 ChatGPT searches, it will stop and say you must upgrade to ChatGPT Plus to continue. Oh, so it's already doing it then. Yeah, I bet they will raise the price. I mean, this is not really a bet. This is like saying I bet the sky's going to be blue tomorrow. But yeah, they'll definitely raise their prices over time, and it'll just get more and more expensive to use, especially as electricity prices keep going up. I thought the same thing about the scraping because it's similar to WorthPoint. Yeah, yeah. I don't. They do have some data that WorthPoint doesn't have though. Like they have like the number of bidders and the number of bids. So they must be scraping eBay on their own. But it is funny that they chose the same color scheme as WorthPoint. It's clear that they're trying to become a better WorthPoint, which more power to them. And I hope they achieve the goal. Right now, it doesn't look like they're there, but uh, yeah, they could get better over time. I got it. Byron said I got into a lengthy conversation with ChatGPT and did a step-by-step inquiry or inquiry. I don't know how it's pronounced. Uh, Actually, I think you can pronounce it however you want, right? Inquiry. That's like coupon or coupon. As to how it came up with a season from a trading card, even though the data was on the card, it only used the photo. Came up with a season from a trading card, even though the data on the card, it only used the photo. Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, that's neat. Has anyone ever seen any postcards, probably RPPCs, of the reversing the flow of the Chicago River? The last dam used the project was 1900, which might be too early for a postcard. Yeah, they maybe they had a private mailing card of it, but um, I don't think I have. Also, a group swim in the Chicago River in 1927. Yeah, I don't think I have. Very specific though. Alan said, "Is your $5 a month YouTube subscription available now?" Not yet. Thanks for asking though. I'm probably gonna take a few weeks off and then start it up in a few weeks. Just give myself a little bit of a break. And yeah, it's just a lot doing those videos every week, so just gonna need a little break. But yeah, I was gonna say Patreon. Yeah, they have fallen out of my good graces. Not because of that's not why I left Patreon originally, but so for all my members that were on Patreon, I'm transitioning everything over to YouTube and just going to do videos on YouTube for $5 a month. But yeah, I paused the Patreon billing, and what I wanted to do is just download all of the videos from Patreon and just upload the backlog to YouTube so I could start with like a pretty good back catalog. And people that paid $5 a month could like go watch all the previous videos too. Makes sense, right? Well, Patreon does not let you Actually, this might be if there are any computer geeks in the chat. Sorry, I don't mean to call you geeks, but if there are any computer people in the chat that could help me download all the videos I uploaded to Patreon, I would really appreciate it. Because Patreon told me there is no way to get my videos off of Patreon, and that once it's uploaded to Patreon, it's basically theirs. So that was really disappointing. And all of the work I did in the page, I mean, it's still there. Like, you can go to Patreon and you can still watch them, but they're like, yeah, this is ours now. And that was really annoying to me. So, yeah, I was going to plan to wait a few weeks to do new videos anyway, but I would really like to put the back catalog of all the Patreon videos up for the YouTube membership. If anybody, when I tried to look it up, there were some programs that said they could help out with that, but it was kind of like they seemed like I might get, hacked or something. It was like the websites that grandmas go to that's like, oh, your Microsoft installation is not good. Click here to reinstall Microsoft. It was like those types of websites that so they could help me download videos from Patreon. So I didn't really want to do too much clicking into those. But if anyone out there can help me, I would really appreciate it. But yeah, I'm probably just gonna have to, remake some of the videos that I did for Patreon and then do new ones. But yeah, for a few weeks. I'll make a video when I do it though. But I think it'll be a lot better doing it on YouTube and only doing the videos, so it'll be a little bit less. What I am gonna do is some of the other stuff that I made for the Patreon, like the PDFs. I'm gonna get like a Ko-Fi store or something and just put those up for a few bucks probably. And just so those are still accessible if people want them. Mr. Interpol fan said, out of curiosity for those who sell vintage postcards, what is the oldest card you have come across as you purchase lots or individual cards? Now that I'm tracking this, it's 1904. Oldest View postcard I've come across. Well, I just showed the Edward Mitchell one that's 1899, but yeah, about 1898, 1899 is the oldest View card that I've come across. The oldest, I have come across some postal cards from the 1870s, and I don't think I've sold any of those. I think they're like over there because I just hung on to them because they were so old. I thought they were cool. But yeah, so that would be my answer to it, but good question. I'll probably get off here in a few minutes. Yeah, an hour. A little bit longer than I was planning to go, but we were having a blast and had a lot of people in the chat. If anybody has any last minute questions, now's the time to get them in the chat, and I will answer them before I get off. So this is your 2-minute warning. Spud Muffin said, good to know. I was considering subbing to the Patreon. We'll be looking forward to the YouTube membership. Yeah, and one of the reasons why, pretty much the only reason why I chose Patreon was that YouTube takes a pretty big cut of your earnings. And actually, Patreon revised how they do it, which, back to enshittification. Patreon, prime example. They told me that if I did restart my Patreon, they would take more fees, which that's just a real kick in the ass on your way out the door. Like, yeah, I'm pausing my membership and I am not going to be using your platform anymore. And they're like, well, if you come back, it's going to be even higher fees. It's like, F you too. But yeah, the reason why I chose Patreon initially over YouTube was because the YouTube membership fees are like 30%, and Patreon at the time that I started on Patreon was 8%. So that's why I did that. But yeah, I'm not really too torn up about having to pay the 30% for YouTube, because I mean, I'm sure my potential audience size is much bigger on YouTube, and YouTube is good about like promoting your membership and stuff like that. So I'm sure I'll do much better on YouTube overall than Patreon. And yeah, not a fan of Patreon anymore. Patreon and WorthPoint. Two companies I'm not a huge fan of anymore. Ashley said, looking forward to what you find at Wichita show and your report on the experience overall. Maybe I'll try to do a little vlogging maybe, and maybe I can interview like Hal and some dealers and something like that. I think that would be cool. Actually, I'm gonna put that on my to-do list. I'm gonna try to do a little vlogging and probably do like a membership video vlogging live from Wichita. And actually, now that we're on that point, Um, if anybody knows any good, like, I mean, I can just use my phone, I guess, but I bought this cheap GoPro and it doesn't work very well. But if anybody knows any better type of vlogging cameras, please put it in the chat before the stream ends. I don't have really any experience with this. I know Mark with SM Postcards used a GoPro, but the one I used, maybe it was just that it was too cheap. But I just didn't have a good experience with it. The battery just burned through super fast, and I looked like an absolute moron with the camera strapped to my head. I know some people don't mind that, but I would prefer not to look like a modern day coal miner if I'm recording a video. Um, let's see. Vlog. I'm just making myself a reminder to vlog at the Wichita show. Worst case scenario, I can just use my iPhone, but I'm not opposed to getting another little gadget if anybody has any recommendations. Glasses would be cool. Those are probably too expensive though, but I think maybe the Meta glasses record. That actually would be cool. I would like the glasses, but those are probably too expensive. No, I'm putting that on my reminders, and we'll do that. Alan said for Ellie, what is Ellie? For LE. I had to drop individual postcard categories, no more sleeving and numbering each card. Oh, list easier, sorry. Took me a minute. No more sleeving and numbering each card, and only front back images to work quickly. For Ellie, I had to drop... sorry. Sometimes I have to read a sentence once or twice to actually understand what it means. No, yeah, I get what you're saying. You had to stop doing the individual categories and stop sleeving and numbering each card. Yeah, I did a few hundred with List Easier, and it was definitely a pain in the... It is very quick to get them up, but definitely a pain in the ass to sleeve and number each card, which I did, but then I stopped using List Easier. Nancy said, when are you stopping? Do you mean Patreon? Or do you mean the live stream? Live stream is stopping in a minute or two. Patreon, I just paused the billing on it so that everybody that was a member of Patreon would not get charged, but can still go back and access the content. I thought initially when I looked into it that you could only pause your Patreon membership for a month, but actually you can only pause for a month at a time. So what I'll probably do, I was just going to delete everything or, make it unlisted when that month was over. But what I'll probably do now is just pause it for another month and then maybe even another month. So it's just going to be paused. Nobody's going to be charged. So you can still access all of the content on Patreon, but there won't be any new content on Patreon. And I'll start doing a YouTube channel membership soon. Maybe even starting with a vlog from Wichita. I should find that damn GoPro. It just looks so stupid. It wasn't terrible. It just looked really stupid. If anybody has any other, since I'm about to get off, if anybody has any recommendations, you're watching this later and maybe you're thinking, oh, I have this really cool thing I should tell Daniel about this, just email me, daniel@mailseum.com, if you have any recommendations about what stupid thing I should strap to my head to vlog. Or I can just use a camera too. But yeah, hopefully I can maybe snag a couple interviews with the help of Hal Ottaway. I'm sure Hal would be down, but maybe I could get a few dealers to interview too. I think that would be really cool. And yeah, make some content there and not just shop for posts, but also shop for postcards. Shop for a lot of postcards. Let's see, I'll catch up with the chat and then I'll see you all next week. I have a ton of postcards, and if not ever listed them, maybe soon. Oh yeah, definitely list your postcards. Anne and Ashley are fans of the vlogging. Sorry, I accidentally said blog. Probably not going to do a blog. Nobody reads blogs anymore. But vlog I will do. I believe GoPro Hero 13 is good with battery backups per ChatGPT. I can't remember which one I got. It was just like on sale at Costco, and it was kind of an impulse decision. So I was like, I could use that to record unboxings and stuff. And it wasn't expensive. But I'm sure it wasn't that great of a model. Rory said get a chest mount. Or a backpack strap mount. That's good. That would definitely look less stupid than the headlamp. Will Hewitt's Antique Store has a table at the Wichita Postcard Show. I was so impressed with all the postcards in his Wichita store. Cool. Well, that's it for today. I will be doing 2 more live streams before I'm actually going to Wichita. 39 people in the chat. That's crazy. I think that's the most we've had in a while. I think being consistent every week is going to be key. So I will aim to be here every single week. Wind, rain, snow, sun, tornado. No, not I will not be live in tornadoes, but earthquakes. We don't really get bad earthquakes. So if we have an earthquake, I'll go live. Thunderstorms. Yeah, I'll try to be live no matter what. 2:30 p.m. Eastern. Definitely go to Hewitt's actual store downtown. I will write that down. Hewitt's Wichita. Maybe my wife would actually go with me to that too. She's not going to the show, but maybe she would go to that. More folks here than Popeye's whatnot Saturday show. Well, I'm not selling anything, so I don't have to convince people as hard to come to my live streams. Appreciate the stream. See you next time. Okay, I will see you all next week. Next Monday for What Sold. Fingers crossed. I mean, I should be able to do it, but trying to find the end button here. All right, there we go. See you all next week. Have a good week, and hope your sales are great.